So, friends, welcome to my Sunday webinar session. This week we are touching upon a very interesting development in the field of cryptocurrency and blockchain applications. And this time, the reason that we have come here together is to discuss the new development in Ethereum blockchain called as Ethereum 2.0. Now, what is 2.0 and how does it affect us? We will discuss something today. So before I start Ethereum 2.0, I'll tell what is Ethereum 1.0. A lot of people here are new to the fold of blockchain and cryptocurrency. So what happened is that around 12 years when Bitcoin was released, Bitcoin was a purely money transfer application based on blockchain. And what is blockchain? Blockchain is a protocol which we use to put any information on a distributed database. Rather than having a centralized database, we have a distributed database. So decentralized and a distributed database like spread over 5,000 servers, maybe all over the world. So whatever data is there on one server, it will be replicated on all the 5,000 servers. So this will ensure that I cannot edit my data once I have put it there without the consent of everybody else. So this gives me the function of immutability. Immutability means cannot be edited. So basically, what I have written on the blockchain, I have made a commitment. I have to fulfill that. I cannot go back in time and change my database singularly. It has to be with the consensus of the network itself. So that is basically Ethereum. That is basically blockchain. So blockchain had a first application by the name of Bitcoin, which was purely a money transfer application. You buy bitcoins from an exchange at a certain price and send that to anybody who has to receive money from you for any consideration of goods or services or gifting or whatever. Then around 3 4 years later, around 2014, Ethereum was founded by Vitalik Buterin, Gavin Wood, and others. So they said that in addition to money transfer application, there can be many more applications of blockchain. So they introduced the concept of smart contracts. So smart contracts are not like legal contracts, but they are codes which are saved on the blockchain itself. So if I have a certain logic in my smart contract that if A happens, then B will be done. If X happens, then Y will automatically happen, right? So if I made a certain contract, it could be a purchasing contract, it could be a renting contract, it could be a voting contract. So if any transaction I pass through the blockchain, through the smart contract, that will be stored in the database of the blockchain, and that will be there for all times to come. So this concept of making blockchain useful not only for money application but for a whole number of other applications also made Ethereum very popular. And today the price of one ether, the native cryptocurrency, is around $450 or so. So in a short span of 5 6 years, it has gained so much of popularity, and it is going steadily because a lot of applications, finance application, supply chain, voting, insurance, a lot of fields, there is an application for Ethereum. But Ethereum also faced certain drawbacks, and the founders wanted to remove that drawbacks because going forward they wanted to use Ethereum as a world computer. So that is where Ethereum 2.0 was conceived, and it was expected to come in around 2 years back. But so much was the what do you say, the security concerns and other issues, that they wanted to be very thorough, because even a slightest slippage of any in security protocol, that could mean a loss of millions and billions of dollars. Ethereum itself is valued around 100 billion today, so you can imagine that what will happen if there is any security breach. So, but recently, last 5 6 months, they started a test net, and then this month, a couple of weeks back, they introduced the first phase, that is the phase zero, to the world, and that is what we will be discussing today. Any questions? Can I proceed? Yeah. Yeah, we are live on YouTube also, and I'm okay sharing the link of YouTube live session also. So after the session is over, you can go to that link on YouTube and listen and look at all the slides again. Yeah, and you have to subscribe to my channel also. Yeah. So what is Ethereum 2.0? Ethereum 2.0, also called ETH 2.0 or Serenity, this is the next upgrade to the Ethereum blockchain. So Serenity is the name which the founders have given Ethereum 2.0 as. So this is the next upgrade to the Ethereum blockchain. So they are not discarding Ethereum 1.0, they are just upgrading Ethereum 1.0 to Ethereum 2.0. A lot of people had this fear in mind that Ethereum 2.0 will come, then Ethereum 1.0 will be, it will be like a fork. So it is not a fork, it is a simple upgrade. And what is the difference between Ethereum 1.0 and Ethereum 2.0? Basically, there are two differences. There is a proof of stake involved, and there is a shard chain involved. So I'll not go into too much of technicals here because I know a lot of people are quite having basic knowledge only. So I'll just tell you very briefly that proof of stake means that you put a stake into a pool, and you, that stake will ensure that you will only do the right things. If you are caught doing a wrong thing, then whatever your stake is, some money will be deducted from that, some penalty will be put on that. So you're putting your stake to ensure that only the right transactions will be done, and I'll be doing only right as per the policies of the protocol, as per the my responsibilities of the protocol. So that is a proof of stake. So I'm putting a stake, and that stake will ensure that I will be doing only the good work. And when I do a good work, I will be getting rewarded. So I don't have to do a proof of work. Earlier we used to do a proof of work. So that used to have a lot of computation power required, a lot of electricity requirement, and a lot of competition was there. So to avoid that, to be more sustainable and having a faster processing power, a proof of stake is introduced. And then we have a shard chain. Shard chain is basically like running the blockchain in parallel lanes. Like you have a single lane highway, no matter how good the road is, there is still a limitation that if a truck is going ahead at the rate of 50 kilometers per hour, everybody else will also be going at that rate only. But now if you make it a multiple lane highway, that means multiple cars or trucks and buses can go parallelly together, and that is basically what a shard chain is. The mere moving from a single lane to a multiple lane highway. And what are the various phases? Now the founders have been very safe, going very safe in Ethereum 2.0. They are not doing all the work in one shot and uploading it and changing the phase. So they have made various phases of the changeover. So we have phase 0, phase 1, phase 1.5 also is there, and then if there is phase 2. So the first phase is the phase 0. So in phase 0, we have the beacon chain, which is likely to start from 1st of December 2020. Now, if that will happen or not, that also I will discuss in a little while. So the first thing is to make a beacon chain start. So what we will be doing is there will be a genesis block. The genesis means the first block of the blockchain. And then from there onwards, there will be a number of validators who will be doing the validation work. And then proof of stake will be implemented only in the beacon chain. The main chain will be still going on, which is going on for the last 6 7 years, whatever. Then we have phase 1 of 2.0. So phase 1 is the second phase. So this will likely roll out after a year's time. So maybe after a year we can assume that phase 1 will be there, and there will be certain upgradations to the network. So primary improvement is the introduction of the shard chain. So we are still going with a simple chain, then they will be having a multiple chains. So the blockchain will be split into 64 different chains, which will allow for parallel transaction, storing, processing of information, etc., etc. And then we will be going to phase two. So the third phase is phase two, which is likely to be launched by 2021 or 2022, most likely 2022. This phase is currently less clearly defined than the above, but basically we'll be turning off the proof of work. The phase one, Ethereum 1.0 will be stopped, and all the work will be migrated to Ethereum 2.0. Okay, that's clear up to now. Now the biggest thing is that Ethereum 1.0, we used to have miners. Now what are the miner do? So miners' responsibility is to validate whether a transaction is genuine or not, right? They have to see whether there is no malicious transactions going through the network. Suppose I am making an commitment to pay you 100 rupees, but do I have 100 rupees in my wallet or not, right? So this is to be checked. Not like a check bounce case should be there, na? That if I don't have 100 rupees in my pocket, but I'm issuing you a check of 100 rupees, so there is no point. So that is the transaction which the miners have to check, and then they have to club together all the transactions that are there in a certain interval of time. They have to form a block. They have to solve a puzzle, a proof of work, which we call, and then they have to put that block on the blockchain. And then all the thousands of nodes that we have in the world, each node will be sent a copy of this new block. So that was the total work of a miner. And for doing a mining, we would be rewarding each miner with 2 ethers. Every 15 seconds, a new block is formed, and every 15 seconds, somebody somewhere in the world, a miner will be getting 2 ethers for his work. Now, in Ethereum 2.0, we are doing away with the concept of mining, and we are now starting with the concept of validator. Now, validator is also having similar responsibility. He also is a very, very important chain in validating the transactions. But there is no proof of work required here. We did not do any computation. We did not have any electricity consumption. We are only checking the validity of a transaction. So that is why we are calling them as validators. And for validation, again, I will be having some reward. So phase 0 is the first step towards changing the consensus of the Ethereum. With proof of stake, validators commit a stake and run a software to secure the Ethereum chain. So now I am still having a computer requirement. I'm still having an internet requirement. I'll be still running a software to secure the chain. I'll be checking whether the transactions are valid or not. So in order to become a validator on Ethereum 2.0, validators will deposit 32 ethers into the official Ethereum deposit contract. Now this is most important, that every validator has to deposit 32 ethers into the pool. Now 32 ether at the rate of around 30,000 rupees per ether comes to approximately 10 to 11 lakh rupees. So if you have 10 to 11 lakh rupees and you're ready to commit that to the Ethereum 2.0, you can become a validator. But if you do not have 11 lakh rupees and a computer and an internet connection and the manpower to run it, still you can become a part of a validator. And that is what the whole webinar today is all about. Now, how to get rewarded? So as a validator on 2.0, you get rewarded for proposing and attesting the next block. So basically whatever the miners are doing, that part is still there. And you will receive rewards in Ether for making valid proposals and attestations. So I'll be checking the transaction and I'll be proposing the changes to the network. That okay, this transaction is valid, this can go through, and that will be done. Now, rewards are dynamically calculated based on the state of the network. Now, it is not that every day if I do a certain amount of work, I'll be getting the same reward. It depends upon the network state of the network. If there are too many validators coming in, then my reward will be reduced. If there are too few validators, then my reward will be increased. As simple as that. So more the number of validators, lesser the reward. Lesser the number of validators, more the reward. So network level reward issuance rates are function of the this amount of ether staked and average percentage online. So I have to remain online for maximum amount of time in order to earn ethers. If I am not available online, that means I am not available to do any transaction. I am not able to do any proposals and attestation. So I will be losing out on my ether reward. So individual validators reward rate depends on the number of validators run and percentage uptime of the validator. So if I am available 24 hours a day, that means I will be having a maximum amount of rewards from the network that day. So what are the risks involved? So I can lose ether by being offline and not performing the duties correctly. So there will be a mild penalty. A mild penalty will be something like whatever, if I am not available for online 1 hour, that means for that 1 hour, whatever reward I could have earned, that will be in fact deducted from my 32 ethers of mining stake. So instead of gaining something, I'll be losing something. But that will be again a mild penalty. But if I do any contradictory information, that means I'm trying to push through a malicious transactions through, I'm trying to alter the state of the network, then I will be having a heavy penalty. I'll be punished from anything between 1 ether to 32 ether, whatever the stake I have, and I will be ejected from the system. So the network will throw me out of the system saying that he is a malicious node, he is trying to bring a bad name on a repute. So I will be simply ejected out from the system. And at least 1 ether will be the penalty. And depending on whatever is my fault, I can be punished up to 32 ethers also. And what are the returns? The return on investment is can be up to 21%. That means in 1 year I can earn 21% only by being online and staking my ethers. Then I can expect there is an Ethereum appreciation of around 25% year on year. The way the Ethereum is going, it has gained more than 25% in the last 1 year. I can still expect that in the normal course also, Ethereum will be appreciating by at least 10% or 25%. And because the investment I will be doing in INR and the appreciation is in USD, I have expectation that the rupee will also be appreciating at least 10% with respect to USD. So today, if I'm sitting at around 73 rupees per dollar, I can easily expect that the rupee will depreciate to around 80 rupees a dollar. In that case, there will be a 10% appreciation there also. So a compounded appreciation of 21% multiplied by 1.25 multiplied by 1.1, the total comes to around 66%. So this is a expected rate of return on anybody who can spare 32 ethers and run a computer 24 by 7 for running a software to validate the Ethereum 2.0 transactions. Now, how do I do it? That also I will sell. But before that, I have a proposal. I have a proposal that we will develop a smart contract ERC20 token based distributed app. So we'll be having a smart contract. We'll be having a token. A token is like an Ethereum only. It's again a cryptocurrency which is based on the Ethereum virtual machine only. So you can have maybe one token to represent maybe 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees or whatever. And whatever person he has to do an investment, he can buy that token, and in the return of the token, his money will be invested into the pool. Then we have to crowdsource 32 ethers together, and some computer machinery and some running expenses will be also be required per pool. And maximum one machine can have 16 pools. So 32 ether multiplied by 16 pool, that is the total amount, but we can start with even one pool. Now this capital will be locked for 1 to 2 years. It is not that if I invest into a beacon chain today, after 2 months if I want to take out my money, I can do that? No, I cannot do that, because still phase 1 is over and phase 1.5 typically starts. I will not be able to withdraw my ethers from the pool. So there is a lock-in period required, and that is why Ethereum is so anxious to have you on board. And then whatever the rewards are coming in, like the 21% appreciation or whatever, then we distribute this 100% returns to the smart contract token. After that, after the lock-in period is over, if you want to transfer, that means you want to sell the ethers to somebody, you can do that. If you want to hold on to your ethers, that is also possible, because it's not a 1 year or a 2 year scheme. This will be a running application for all times to come. Or if you want to redeem your token, you want to give it back to the contract and have your ENR like redeemed, that can also be done. So all the income, that means 100% of the income that is coming from the appreciation, from the mining, because we'll be doing mining also. You also need to be a miner on 1.0 to become a validator. So all the 100% income from the mining and validation to be added to the smart contract. So whatever is the income which Ethereum is helping us, that will be deposited to the smart contract itself, and redemption and sale to be completely anonymous. So what, when you're doing an investment, you are only telling me your public key. You're only telling me your account address. You're not telling me your you're only telling me your Ethereum address. Sorry, you're not telling me your bank account number. You're not telling me your postal address, your Aadhaar card or PAN card number or whatever. That all information will be there in your exchange account. So whatever investment you're doing will be completely anonymous. And when you want to sell back also, at that time also it will be completely anonymous, because you will be transferring money from this smart contract to your own exchange, and from that exchange you can take it to anywhere in the world, or you want to redeem it in INR, that is up to you. So the purpose is to have a collaborative investment and a collaborative income, rather than putting up your money with some exchange and they will be doing staking for you on your behalf. We should have a collaborative attempt to become a validators ourselves. So in case we are able to crowdsource 32 ethers together, we can become validators ourselves. If you are able to crowdsource more than 32 ethers, we can make two pools, and right way, that way up to maximum 16 pools we can make. But for the moment, I'm starting this collaborative crowdsourcing to have 32 ethers in order to have the first node up and running. So whosoever is new to the webinar, they can note down my Skype ID also, Twitter ID also, email, and they want to join my WhatsApp group. I'll post this link in the chat window. So I'm open to questions. Anybody has any question, or should I proceed? I see a lot of people have joined a little late. If they have missed out on anything, please let me know. We can take it up once again. Hmm. So what I'm doing is that I'm having a startup which is getting incubated in Software Technology Park in Mohali. So I'll be running a node there, and whatever investment that you're doing, suppose you're doing say 1% of the 32 ethers requirement, so you will get 1% of the rewards also. So it depends upon your investment aptitude, how much you want to invest. Suppose you want to invest one ether out of 32 ethers. So that means your reward will also be 1 by 32 part. So there is no requirement for individual people to have any hardware or software or internet connection. That all will be maintained by me only. It will be running in a software technology park, and it will be fully secure from any. I mean, there is no as such security hazard in running an Ethereum 2.0 validator node. So my proposal is to only crowdsource the funding. 32 ethers becomes around 10 to 11 lakhs, and you have certain requirement for the hardware, and some manpower etc will also be required to maintain it. So rather than each of us having to do it singularity, my proposal is to come together and uh, pool our resources so as to have a collaborative investment and a collaborative income. I can also show a little uh, Excel sheet if you want. Can you see the Excel sheet here? So this sheet I made in fact yesterday. At that time, the ether was running at $462 per ether, and by 2021, December 21, I expect to have a 25% appreciation. Now, this is again an estimate. It could be more, it could be less. The way Ethereum is performing in the last few months, it is going at much higher rate. But I'm taking a little, a conservative view. I'm not going too much overboard. So the price of ether likely to be 1 year down the line by the time phase 1 introduces will be 577.5, and then I'll be having certain amount of reward on being an validator. So suppose I'm having a 25% reward. I can expect, so that means 721 US dollar will be my net worth of the investment. Today, if I am doing a rupee investment at the rate of 73 rupees a dollar, that means my investment today comes to 33,000 rupees per ether. And 1 year down the line, this will transform to around 57,750 rupees at 80 rupees per dollar. So my gain will be around 24,000 rupees on an investment of 33,000 rupees, which comes to 71%. Now, if you say that 80 rupees is going a little too high, maybe we can expect the dollar to be 75 rupees 1 year down the line. So I can expect a 60% increase. If you say that the 25% is too high, maybe I can go to 20%. The gain will be 54. Again, appreciation of Ethereum also, if you say 25% is too high, I can assume it 20%. Sorry, this is really? Is this the case with everybody else? What I'll do, I'll just stop share and reshare. Can you see the screen now? Excel sheet now? Okay. So if I take a very, very conservative view, I take an appreciation of Ethereum to be only 20% per annum. and I expect only 20% gain to come from Ethereum 2.0 validator node, and I expect only dollar to appreciate from 73 rupees to 75 rupees, still there is a 48% appreciation that is expected by this investment, which is huge and incomparable to any other investment, any legal investment you can think of maybe. Now, what will be the total investment required for this? So first, of course, is the 32 ether that we have said. So that comes to around 10 lakh rupees, 10.79 lakh rupees. Then I'll be, I'm expecting the hardware to cost me around 1.5 lakh rupees. A server will have to be a certain high quality will be invested. Then I'll be also putting up a mining hardware, because you have to be an Ethereum 1.0 node also in order to become an Ethereum 2.0 node. And since you are becoming a node, so it makes sense to put up a small mining rig also. And that mining rig will itself have a return of investment of around 2 years time. So within 2 years time, this equipment will be free in itself also. And maybe I will be requiring certain software and manpower support in maintaining this, although I don't want to invest too much into it because I'm capable of doing it myself also. So certain amount of software and manpower cost that I can assume. So a total bill comes to something around 15 lakh rupees per node. But as I told you that we can have up to 16 nodes in one machine. So if we are able to crowdsource more amount, then this hardware mining and the software cost will be going down rapidly. So if I am having 16 nodes, that means this it will be only 9,300 rupees, and all the these three costs. So practically it will be only 30,000 rupees added to the staking cost of 10.79 lakh, total around 11 lakh rupees. So anything between 11 lakhs to 15 lakhs is the investment, which will give us a reward of 16,000 rupees per ether. So reward per node, this will be multiplied by 32. So 5 lakh rupees is the reward that I can expect if I invest anything between 11 to 15 lakh rupees. So in a best case scenario, so I'll be having sorry. Hmm. So I'll be having a 47% return on investment, and on a very conservative side, I'll be having this it on a 34%. So anything between 34% to 47% is the return on investment which we can very safely assume. And what is to be done? We have to become a validator node on Ethereum 2.0 today. Now, why do you think this will be a good idea? I'm going to present you another screenshot of the website, which will is like the official mouthpiece of Ethereum. Okay, this is the web page launchpad.ethereum.org. So here they have very clearly spelled out what will be the gain and how it is to be done. Now you can see that the network status that they are giving us is that they want to have 16,000 validators to start the network. And each of these 16,000 validators need to put at least 32 ether stake. So that means 5,24,000 ethers that should be there in the network before they can start the chain. And when they have to start the chain, they have to start the chain on 1st of December 2020. That means hardly 16 days to go. And 1 week before the start of the chain, they should be able to fill this pool. So that means by around 24th or 25th of November, they are expecting that they will be able to crowdsource 5,24,000 ethers. And how much we have got? We have got around 83,000 ethers till date. So it's a very tough task to fill in 83,000 to go up to 5,24,000. But a lot of people are actually waiting to see how this chain is going to proceed. Maybe then they will come in. But the good news is that if we start with a smaller number of staking, the higher will be our return on investment. So this graph here tells you very clearly that in case you have minimum 5,24,000 staked ether, the return will be 21.6%. But as the staking pool keeps on increasing in size, your return will also keep on decreasing. So if they are able to gather 1 million ethers, the reward will go down to 15.7%. In case they are able to have 2 million ethers, then it will be down to 11.1%. But looking at the way investments is going, I mean, even at 5 million ethers, the reward will be 7%. So 7% is what is the home loan percentage these days? 6% is the FD, or 5.5% is the return on your FD today. Even if I assume that there will be 7 million ethers, the APR is still 5.9%, which is a huge number. Looking at the way it is processing today, I mean, hardly 15 to 20% money is coming. So I don't have any high hopes that this amount will go up very fast. But anyway, let's wait and watch. So that is why it's highly likely that only maybe 5 lakh to 10 lakh ethers will be there in the beacon chain when it starts. So the return could be anything between 15% to 21%. And this is because it's not just about staking your ethers. You have a lot of other responsibility also. You have to sign up. Of course, it is sign up in 3 steps, but you have to generate and validate your keys online. Sorry. So there is a security possible requirement here. Then the phase 0, phase 1, phase 1.5, phase 2 will be done. And there is a checklist that how do you have to do it. So there's a long amount of checklist required in everything. So it's quite a tedious process, but something that can be done. There is nothing too tough about it. But of course, the basic point is that if you have to have reward, you have to do certain responsibilities. And those responsibilities include, first of all, to be available 24 by 7 for the maximum amount of time. And the second one is to provide the liquidity of 32 ethers to the pool. And of course, you do not have to carry out any malicious transaction. So those, if these steps are carried out, then you can expect a very high reward, anything between 15 to 21%, as I've shown in the graph earlier. I'm expecting some questions here. Anybody has any questions? What do you think? It does it make does you feel excited that by crowdsourcing maybe as little as maybe 5 to 10,000 rupees if you invest today, there's a earning potential of 40 to 60% as such by being a validator on Ethereum. Well, as I told you that 1st December is the date which Ethereum is expecting to roll out the beacon chain, and 1 week before that, that means around 25th of December, November, they're expecting to gather 5 lakh ethers. But it's likely that it would take maybe another 15 days or 1 month to fill the pool of 5.25 lakh ethers, right? So, I mean, we can, the earlier the better. If we can put up a smart contract in the next, I can put up a smart contract in the next 15 days, and as the investments start pouring in, we'll start pooling all our resources. And as soon as we reach 32 ethers, we can start staking. There is no, I'm expecting it to take around 1 month's time maximum. So within 1 month, if we do it, then there is a finite possibility that we will be having these rewards as explained in the Excel sheet. Yeah, yeah, that is already there. I mean, that is not a. It's in the test net still. It's not live on the network because as soon as I get certain commitment that at least one third of the amount I can expect, then I will make it live, and then we'll be starting with actual collection of the ethers. So I will. This all steps will be done parallelly. So as soon as certain commitments are there, the DApp will go live, and as the DApp goes live, we'll start depositing the ethers. Yes, yes, I. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, very rightly said. First of all, we'll crowdsource 32 ethers minimum. We'll invest that into a validator pool, and then this investment will be locked for the next 1 year at least till the time phase 1 or phase 1.5 of Ethereum is reached. After that, we if you want to pull out any amount of money, you can pull out, you can transfer, you can sell, or you can redeem your investment, and then or you want to hold on to that, you can still hold on because this is not a 1 year or a 2 year scheme or anything. So as long as you are part of the Ethereum validator block, you will keep on earning the returns based on the total amount of participation that you have on the network. Yeah, this is launchpad.ethereum.org. I'll copy the URL into the chat window also. You can have a good look at it. There's question from Rishabh Jain. Running node is going to cost you something for sure. So how will this be adjusted? Yes, I've already shown this in the Excel sheet that there will be certain running expenses around 1.5 lakh rupees per annum, which I'm expecting. So all the running expenses will be taken care from that pool only. Uh, so software oblique manpower, I'm using 1.5 lakh rupees per node. So in case we are able to have more than one node, then that cost will be divided, or at least on the conservative side, if we are saying that we'll be only running one pool, so that cost will be taken care from the rewards itself. So that is why from around 11 lakh rupees to 15 lakh rupees, that will be the cost of running a node for 1 year. I mean, sorry, from 30,000 rupees to 4 lakh rupees, something that will be the cost of running a node for 1 year, or maybe next year also, because the hardware power and the mining equipment will not be redundant afterward. It has a life of more than 1 year. So all the running expenses will also be taken care from the investment point, from the rewards that we get in form of ethers. That's quite a valid question. Thank you so much for asking. And what would be the system requirement? System requirement is not very heavy. Uh, Basically, a good quality server will be needed, which can run 24 by 7. Some SSD hard disk will be required, something around 1 TB, I think so. Quite a stable CPU, maybe a multiple CPUs would be required on the motherboard. So not a very heavy requirement as such. A lot of equipment is available off the shelf. So of course it cost it will cost something, but nothing that is custom made. So software requirement per se is not very unique. So as I told you, friend, that all the discussion that we had today is also available on YouTube. We are going live on YouTube also. The uh, I will share the YouTube link once again in case you have missed it. Okay, here is the link. You want to have a listen again to the discussion, you're most welcome. Or you want to have a small group of investors, of crypto investors, also on WhatsApp. The link of that also is now shared with you, so you can you're free to join my WhatsApp chat group also. In addition to that, my Skype ID, Twitter ID, and email ID, that is also available here. So if you want to contact me anytime, please feel free to do that. So thank you so much for sparing your time on a Sunday afternoon. I hope you had a good look and some understanding on Ethereum 2.0. I've also been investing a lot of time of late into understanding it. There are few complexities involved, but as the time goes by, things are becoming clearer and clearer. So maybe by same time next Sunday we'll meet again, and that, or maybe another 15 days time perhaps. So by that time there will be a lot more clarity on how Ethereum 2.0 stake is pool is being filled up. And if you are excited about the returns figure which I've showed you on the Excel sheet, then we can start the crowdsourcing also. If there are no more questions, then I would like to end the session here only. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. It was nice talking to you. See you again in 15 days' time. Thank you. Bye bye.